It's a couple of degrees above freezing. The pavement's a mix of wet and dry, and this car desperately wants to turn its rear tires into smoke. No turbochargers, no hybrid assistance, just a naturally aspirated V8 trying to find grip on winter rubber. This is the 2025 Lexus IS 500 Ultimate Edition. In a world where everything is sanitized and electrified, this feels like a contradiction. I'm Brian Makse, and yeah, you could say that this is a fossil. It's an ancient chassis wrapped in some special paint powered by technology that belongs in a museum. They're building 500 of these for North America. 40 are coming to Canada. You get this special wind paint, the matte black BBS wheels, and those Ultimate Edition badges. Cynics will call this a sticker package to clear out the inventory, and on the surface, they're right. But on the road, they're completely wrong. This isn't a competitor to the M3. This is a Japanese muscle car. And today, I'm going to show you why this might be the smartest dumb purchase you can make before these are gone forever. This V8 does things that no turbocharged motor can do. The throttle response, the linear power delivery, the way it rewards you chasing redline instead of short shifting. It's so good. But this chassis is a decade old. The interior tech is generations behind. The back seat exists technically, but not functionally. And for 500 people, these trade-offs are going to seem perfect. They want a sports sedan that rewards driving skill. They want an engine that responds without negotiation. They don't care about backseat space because their kids are grown or don't exist. They want Lexus quality and the dealer experience without the turbocharged vibe that comes with modern performance cars. This V8, naturally aspirated, 5 liters of displacement. It makes 472 horsepower at 7,100 RPM. Not 5,500 RPM, not 6,000 RPM, 7,100 RPM. Chasing the red line matters because this is the last time anyone can experience that in a sports sedan. Everyone force feeds their V8s now and they make more power, but it murders throttle response. And this engine is a lesson in why turbo lag exists. You push the throttle 30%, you get 30% of the power. Push it 80%, you get 80%. 100% power. There's no waiting for boost and no waiting for algorithms to determine what you actually mean. It sounds obvious until you remember what a modern turbocharged car drives like, where you're always negotiating with the ECU. This IS 500 does exactly what you tell it. This does 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds, and it feels honest. It's not violent like an M3 competition. It's not effortless like an electric car either. It's just consistently, predictably rapid. I've said it before about this engine. It's like jewelry, and in 2025 it's anachronistic, but if you think about it, in 2005 this was standard practice. This automatic transmission, extremely competent, and that's just fine. In normal mode, it hunts for fuel economy and upshifts early, annoying in a V8, but that's expected. Sport S tightens everything up and holds gears longer. Sport Plus adds throttle blipping on downshifts and actually respects your paddle inputs instead of overhauling them 3 seconds later. The shifts, both up and down the gearbox, are quick but not violent. This is a torque converter automatic that's been refined for a decade. And refinement is exactly what you get. It's not thrilling, certainly not frustrating, it's professional. I think the mechanical limited slip diff that's part of this IS 500 is core to this car's personality. In an era when we have electronically controlled limited slip diffs and brake-based torque vectoring, this uses an honest mechanical limited slip diff to distribute torque at the rear. Power goes immediately to where there's grip without any latency. And after several years, you'd expect that traction control would be well calibrated, and it certainly is. It gives you a little bit of latitude to play, which which is impressive in a Lexus. It doesn't completely strangle power, and in the upper drive modes actually lets you rotate the rear of the IS 500. Someone at Lexus clearly cared, and it shows. The like button tells YouTube to share this video with other people like you interested in this IS 500. And if this video has given you more information than a brochure or a press release, well, that's the entire ask. Now, about the handling. They say that this IS 500 is too soft. They say it rolls too much. They are missing the point. This isn't a track car. This is a road car, and this suspension absorbs bumps that would shatter your spine in one of those German cars that starts with a letter. And the balance between handling and ride comfort is probably better than this old platform deserves. Body roll is present, but it's not excessive. You turn into a corner, it rolls a little bit, car takes a set, and carves a perfect line through a corner. No drama, no fuss, just pure confidence until you exit that corner perfectly. Sure, you can dial up the drive mode selector all the way to Sport Plus, and it firms up the ride, but it's still compliant, and when you go back to normal, it is very comfortable. And regardless of the drive mode, body and wheel control is exceptional. I haven't found a situation where I've been disappointed. Someone clearly has paid special attention to these adaptive dampers. And we are on some winter tires, and the roads are a mix of wet, dry, and it's just downright cold outside. When I turn in, I can feel the tire sidewalls flex, and then the body roll, and then the car turns. And over the natural road surface, it kind of moves around, it squirms, and the best part is at legal speeds, this car feels alive. And don't forget, this is a proper sports sedan, so it rides like a sports sedan. If you want luxury and isolation, well, buy a Lexus IS. If you want a connection to the road, well, this IS 500 delivers. Electric power steering on a platform that's a decade old should feel dead and lifeless, but that's not the case here. And it's not because Lexus invented some new steering engineering breakthrough. It's because they calibrated this in an era when people expected steering to communicate. As you turn into a corner, the weight in the steering system builds naturally, and as you approach the limits, you get a sense of where those limits are of those two front contact patches. It's honest, and honest steering is becoming extinct faster than naturally aspirated V8s. The Brembo brake package of this Ultimate Edition is the real upgrade that nobody seems to be talking about. 6-piston front calipers, massive 2-piece rotors, and upgraded performance-oriented brake pads. The pedal's firm, progressive, excellent feedback control and modulation. None of that grabby nonsense you get from some performance cars. And you can actually lean on these brakes corner after corner without the pedal going soft or experiencing any fade. On the track, that might be a different story, but on the road, these are brilliant. And sure, the cynics will say the red brake calipers are pure theater, and that might be true, but the engineering underneath them, well, that is legit. Remember those temperatures I was talking about earlier? Couple of degrees over freezing. We're on winter tires, barely any grip, and this car still wants to play. If you want to support this channel beyond just watching, well, the merch store is open, and your support means producing episodes like this and less time worrying about manufacturer blacklists. No pressure, just an option. Welcome to 2014. I'm not joking. Look, there's an analog clock, a CD player, and regular buttons, switches, and dials. Inside, this IS 500 Ultimate Edition is special in ways that I don't think any photos or video can convey. It starts with the new luxe and ultra suede upholstery because they actually hold you here in the seat when the corners get interesting without being all sticky like a leather seating surface does. The dimpled red leather on the steering wheel is supposed to reference the Lexus LFA, and I think that's a bit of marketing nonsense. The LFA cost, when it was new, $375,000 and was powered by a V10. but the texture of this leather is pleasant, and I just love the shape and the size of this steering wheel. It's absolutely perfectly suited to the IS. Now, here's where a decade-old platform shows its age. This multimedia interface controller is one of the worst interfaces I have ever seen. It's one of those solutions to a problem that never existed that's executed perfectly by the Japanese, but Lexus solved that problem by creating a touchscreen, and now you can interface with your infotainment system in your IS 500 through a touchscreen, although it's a bit of a stretch. When I'm seated comfortably here, if I want to reach the far end of the screen, well, my shoulders have to lead the seat back. The climate controls are a bit odd. There are some buttons, which are correct, and then there are these sliders for the temperature, which are a bit strange. The seating position is near perfection. You sit nice and low in the chassis, lots of adjustment in the seat and the steering wheel, and I have this perfect interface to the IS. Absolutely love it here behind the wheel. And the thing is, with this IS, you sit in the car, not on it, and these seats are perfectly bolstered. They're supportive, they're comfortable, and most importantly, they hold you in when the corners get interesting. Visibility is a bit of a trade-off. Forward visibility is excellent. Then we do have these smallish outboard mirrors. The rear window is a bit of a mail slot, and the belt line's fairly high. But keep in mind, you're buying a sports sedan, not a greenhouse. The cameras work, the mirrors work, and adjust your mirrors properly, and blind spots aren't real. Also, in this Ultimate Edition, you get red seat belts because nothing says limited edition like a $12 part in a different color. But here's why the age of this chassis doesn't matter. The fundamental ergonomics, the seating position, they're perfect. And remember, this is a sports sedan. Forward visibility is excellent. Seating position is fantastic. You sit nice and low, and in an age where modern cars are obsessed with technology, this one is obsessed with getting you seated properly. And let's be honest about practicality. In the trunk, there might be 10 or 11 cubic feet. That's enough space for a weekend bag or two, and the constant awareness that you made a lifestyle choice. Subscribers get notified when new episodes drop on this channel. Non-subscribers hope that the algorithm will show it to them eventually. And if you want to control when you see episodes on this channel, well, that's what the subscribe button's for. And here's what owners discover after a few months with one of these in their garages. First, let's start with the bumper. The IS 500's front bumper extends 2 inches beyond the regular IS 350 to clear the V8, and that extra plastic separates from the fender, usually on the driver's side. Lexus issued a service bulletin. One dealer fixed it with zip ties and JB weld. Just be aware. Second, the transmission. This IS 500 doesn't have a dedicated transmission cooler. It's just a heat exchanger. If you plan to drive this hard in the mountains or track your IS 500, aftermarket cooling isn't optional. Third, tires, and according to owners, the standard tire leaves something on the table. More than a trivial number of owners recommend an immediate swap to Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. They say budget $1,500 immediately because the factory rubber isn't worthy of 472 horsepower. The good news? This V8, it's bulletproof. 15 years of production across the F-cars, proven reliable, and owners report depreciation resistance that makes German alternatives look like financial mistakes. 11% depreciation for the IS 500 versus 22% for the European competition, they say. If you own one of these or have quality seat time in one of these, let me know what I got right and what I got wrong, because ownership experiences are much more valuable than anything I can learn in a week-long press loan, and I always read those comments. For 500 drivers, this is absolutely perfect, and I guess I'm one of them because I'm standing here in near freezing temperatures chasing redline instead of doing something productive. If you have to ask whether this is for you, it isn't. The people who need one, they already know. Everyone keeps calling this a dinosaur. Well, you know what else was a dinosaur? That thing that dominated this Earth for 165 million years. The meteor didn't prove the dinosaurs wrong, it just changed the rules. This IS 500 isn't wrong, it's just refusing to play by the new rules, and for some of us, that's exactly the point. If you want to tell your grandchildren that you bought the last naturally aspirated V8 powered sports sedan, buy this. I'm Brian Makse, and this is the 2025 Lexus IS 500 Ultimate Edition. Subscribe if you enjoyed this, don't if you don't, comment if you disagree, and the merch store is open if you want to fund more episodes like this. See you on the next one.